What is going on, everyone? It's Nick from Breaking the Clutch. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And today, on June 27th, we finally have some patch notes, and I'm going to go ahead and break those down to the best of my ability. And also, if you want to read these patch notes on your own without some commentary, that will be in the description down below, or the link to that will be in the description down below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns about these patch notes, and you want some help, we will try our best to answer those. And people within the community, please, if you know an answer to that or have some speculation, please leave that down below and help us respond to as many people as we can, because these patch notes usually draw in a lot of people, and a lot of people have a lot of questions and concerns. So if you see a question that you can answer, please leave that down below as well. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the patch notes. There is one important thing to note before we get into it, that in addition to the notes below, there will be a service-side balance update released after the game patch has been deployed. The details of these additional balance changes are not currently included in the notes below, and we will update that once it is finalized. So we've got pretty much two different patches that are going to be coming out. This one, I imagine, is releasing with the Spartan Jerome and Arbiter update, and then right after that, probably within the same, I'd imagine within just a few days after, it sounds like, at least from the post, there will be another patch, and this patch will have more unit-specific things if I had to take a guess. All right, let's jump into some of the UI and navigation updates that we'll be seeing with the new patch. Improved selection box to allow for easier selection of units when on the fringe of the unit. Selected unit sub-selection, now more responsive when using the right trigger and Y button to cycle through the selection. That's great. Fog of War made more readable. Now lines up more closely with logical sight ranges. The visual transitions when units emerge from the Fog of War is much quicker, and we've seen that problem a lot of times with the Fog of War. The units will start shooting from out in that Fog of War, and you can't see what's happening until just a few seconds later, so that it's a bit of a disadvantage for those who are being attacked, but now that looks to clear some things up. All right, some improvements to the camera scroll speed and feel when playing with the controller. That's fantastic. We need faster scrolling. I think Halo Wars 1 did that pretty well. You could just zoom around the map with the options that they gave you with the camera scroll, and also changing the scroll speed settings in the options below has a much greater effect than before, resulting in more control over how. So they adjusted what 1 through 10 feels like, and that should suit a lot more people better, and it should hopefully clear up a lot of issues that people were having. Speed can be reduced to previous levels by adjusting the scroll speed. All right, and then this is the most important thing I think out of this entire UI navigation update. Hid player gamertag and rank in the map load screen. Perfect. I don't know how many games I go into where I just get dodged, and I know a lot of other people run into this. If you play someone who you recognize, you might dodge them more easily because you obviously know them and you think they might be better than you, or whatever the case is, and you decide to just quit out of the menu. This is going to prevent a lot of those from happening, and I think this is a fantastic idea. Nice job, 343. Some updates with the AIs. AI is no longer allowed to place rally flags on places that players aren't allowed to. AI no longer knows the player when the player is beginning to target them with the leader power before they use it, and units won't be aggroed by suicide grunts and won't automatically run or move towards them to engage. They will stand their ground instead. That's great. Well, at least the last one. The other two, if you're running custom games against AI, I guess that helps you out a little bit right there. But most of us who play matchmaking, actually team respawn, that's perfect for you guys. All right, we've got a whole lot to talk about here, so bear with me. I'm going to break down this to the best of my ability. So we've got building and units being patched. All right, supply pad upgrade time reduced from 25 to 18 seconds. That's significant, and it's going to hopefully make these games move a little bit quicker than they have been in the past. All right, shield generators stacking reduced per generator from 50% efficiency to 20%. That is amazing. So it's going to take it's going to probably take about three shield generators to equal just about what a second shield gen would do when stacking. So this is hopefully going to eliminate that whole Season 3 hiding inside of your own shield generator Atriox move that we've seen so much in the past, and it's so boring to play against and so boring to play with, and now hopefully that clears some of that air. Special abilities, Hijack, Slam, Phoenix Missile, Brute Warlord's Hammer, Shockwave, etc. now gain the benefit from generic damage upgrades. That's fine. Fixed an issue where the Hunter Captain would not be able to stick or would not be able to attack if its taunt ability was interrupted. Hunter Captain was no longer receives as much healing from combat repair, and Hunter Captain's health is lowered. I'm not too familiar with Colony, so I'm going to just I'm going to walk past that one. Adjusted locust behavior when targeting units in the fog of war. Hopefully that means that they won't just randomly shoot through the fog of war and start hitting units, because that's been an issue in the past. It's a bit unfair for those being attacked because those locusts have no reason to be attacking, just based on the proximity, or at least how far away they are from those units. Upgrade 3 for vehicle, air, and infantry. Apply the correct amount of health to appropriate units. Sounds like upgrade 3 was not doing that based on what that says right there. So skitterer health from vehicle upgrade lowered at all levels. So we're going to see an effect with the chopper and skitterer combination. I'd imagine right there. I think that's the most prominent one. I don't know what else you would be pairing them with. But skitterers can no longer become useless if the unit is going to pair with dies before pairing is complete. Not too familiar with Colony and how he plays, but I imagine that if a skitterer was to attach to a unit and that unit were to die, then that skitterer maybe can't be utilized in the game anymore and it just takes up cap space. I imagine that's what that means. If not, please leave that down below. Kodiaks should no longer fail to target an enemy on the other side of a cliff or hill if they have the line of sight. Cutter's Jerome hero unit will no longer get stuck in a vehicle if upgraded while in a vehicle. That's fine. Spartans no longer become unresponsive when slamming a teleport pad. That's a bit buggy. I can't imagine how that lasted so long. Spartans no longer damage the unit when they're hijacking. That makes sense. If you're hijacking the unit, why would you want to damage it as well? That's fine. Honor Guard will now have more success when attempting to slay a fleeing unit. Units grouped with engineers should now be able to use their Y ability when the group is selected. Thank you. Okay, that's been bothering me. All right, where are we at? Snipers can now be commanded to attack units in garrisons without being grouped with other units who could. Again, thank you. I'm not sure why that wasn't the case originally, but now that they fixed that, I'm very happy with that. Units will now auto attack garrisoned units as they walk past. Good. It was a bit of a disadvantage if you walked past someone, they wouldn't attack, they'd take some damage, and then if you only have a couple of those units, then you start to lose your health, and then you have to back off the garrison, because the garrison has the advantage, not only with the attacking first, but also with the upgraded health. So that's fine, that's fantastic. Scorpions now have better accuracy when attacking garrisoned units. Scorpions can no longer fire 2 canister shots. I guess that's this game's version of the canny glitch. Choppers can no longer trigger ram animation when selecting an air unit. Condors will no longer waste their Y ability when targeting air units. Decimus can now use Y ability on buildings. So I think Decimus, what does he do? He drops in a bunch of different beams from the sky, so that's pretty interesting. Maybe a little bit of Consano Season 2 right there. We'll have to see how well that works out. Hornets no longer fail to damage after firing at a target for a prolonged time. Blisterbacks shouldn't be deployed under the surface of the map anymore. I've only noticed that in campaign, but again, I don't use blisterbacks too often in matchmaking, or actually ever. So veteran blisterbacks can once again be healed to full. Johnson's heal beacon size and effect now correctly match. Johnson can no longer move to cancel his animation and fire additional smart missiles. That sounds like a canister glitch from back in Halo Wars 1, at least the way that you would be able to do it. Skitterers now correctly apply full damage from focus beam upgrade. Colony's living barrier benefits from base fortify upgrades. That's really cool. Shipmaster's grunt squad leaders are now rightfully Sangheili instead of Jurahane, and now can be upgraded to cloak instead of having shrapnel mines. Normalized damage of hijacked vehicles regardless of who made the vehicle. Consano's Cyclops hero unit selection circle should now be more visible when not hovering over it. Decimus and Warlord will no longer try to pull units that are already close to them. I apologize if you guys can hear that rain, but now we've got a little ODST action, at least a soundtrack going on in my back door with the rain going on. So hopefully that's not interfering. If it is, hopefully it's peaceful to you. All right, Warlord no longer resists his attack animation when selecting a unit to attack. ODST charges will now explode when placed on top of or next to buildings inside plots. Okay. ODST can no longer throw more than one charge at a time. That's the one I was looking for. And ODST can't attempt to throw their demo charge at air units. Yeah, okay. That's a whole lot to cover there in the building units. It's gonna... Well, I don't think anything was too drastic there. The one things I do want to point out again, supply pads going from 25 to 18, and shield gens taking a hard drop in efficiency and effectiveness. Other than that, a lot of things were just tuned up, fine-tuned, and I really enjoying what I'm seeing right here from the building and units patch notes. All right, some leader power upgrades we've got here. Atriox fortification slightly reduced in effectiveness at level 1 and greatly reduced at level 2 and is specifically beneficial to shield generators. Okay, so they're trying to bring back a little bit of the shield buffing, but they're doing it through fortifications this time, which could be fine. Cost reduction on bases, stronghold upgrade, turrets, and shield generators changed, reduced to 15% per level. Fortifications altered, cost of fortify upgrades rounded to nearest 5. Upgrade speed buff on stronghold upgrade and turret upgrades reduced to 15% per level. Vehicle symbiote's power can now target turrets. That's absolutely awesome. Okay, but so you can now use vehicle symbiotes on turrets if that wasn't clear enough. Buffed vehicle symbiotes now apply correct armor and health. Scorch mines can no longer blow each other up on deployment. Shipmaster's displacement can now affect protector sentinels. Not sure why I wouldn't be able to before. Restoration drones can now target turrets. Scatterbomb now more correctly aligns with its targeting reticle. Vortex Lightning now damages and debuffs units in Garrison. Garrisoned units no longer heal faster from leader powers than ungarrisoned units. Mech Overcharge and Combat Salvage can now be invoked regardless of whether the reticle is in the Fog of War or not. Mass Cloaking now removes units from the minimap in Blitz mode, and Reavers will no longer continue to shoot when the EMP Mac blasts while stunned. Vehicles stolen by Ghost in the Machine are no longer visible in the Fog of War. Ghost in the Machine can no longer permanently increase Isabel's population cap by using it on the teleported units, and EMP Mac Blast now more correctly matches the targeting reticle. And the very last few things on the patch notes list, I'm going to go ahead and flash them on the screen. If you would like to check them out, please pause the video to read them or check the description down below for the full list of patch notes. Now, again, to preface, the three things that I'm not going to cover and you can go ahead and read about are the engine, art, and audio notes that are being adjusted to. And I'm going to skip over these ones. I don't find them too relevant for the game. At least the competitive style of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and skip them. Please feel free to check them out down below, though, or on screen right now. And again, I want to caution you guys, there will be a second list of patch notes coming out, hopefully today, hopefully tomorrow, or hopefully by the end of tomorrow. So if you see this video, be on the lookout. In the comments down below, I'm going to pin a video link to the part 2 of these patch notes. As soon as they're released, you'll see them. And I hope you guys found all this useful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave that down below. And until next time, guys, we will see you for part 2 of these patch notes that are still not released yet. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you guys next time.